Well, I'm live, and I can't say anything else other than that. We're supposed to be getting some rain here in Maryland tonight, and I hope we do because once we do, I won't have to go out and water till this evening, saving me time and money. So that is, and plus, rainwater is better for your plants. I'm considering planting some more. In this is August, so I want to make sure I plant some more. Today is August the 6th, and I want to make sure. Well, certain plants I might want to plant. Uh, Planting crops in August. Oh, hello, how you doing there, Creek Walker? All right, Wilson. Hello, hello, how you doing? And I appreciate you being here. Um, Planting crops in August um, in Zone 7, 7B. I think I'm in Zone 7B. Yeah, I think I'm in Zone 7B. It's been a long time since I looked it up. All right, let's see. Things I could plant here in August that will help me increase my food supply because everything. Hey, let me ask you something. Where I'm here in Maryland, and I drive around, and I'm always looking at gas stations and see what the cost of it is. The least expensive one I found so far was $3.75, and and it's been going up every. You go to sleep at night, you wake up in the morning, and it's much higher. How much are you paying for gas in your location? So every little bit helps. Um, you can, in fact, grow food, and it is less on your grocery bill. Yep, you can grow it right there. So I'm paying $3.75 a gallon. Rosemary. Never had much luck with them. I never quite had the patience with them when I buy the plant. The plant doesn't last long; it just dies. Um, doesn't like a lot of water. I'm in a clay soil, and as I said earlier to most of the people that listen to my ranting about gardening because I love gardening. Um, and I say I don't baby my plants. I do not baby them at all. Period. They do not get babied. I put the seed in the ground. I put multiple seeds in the ground, and when I do that, I let them take care of themselves. Oh, okay, okay. Here we go. Wow, $3.70 a gallon for regular. Yep, that's about what I pay here, except for the 5 cents on there. Um, we're paying that because they say the new gas. Yeah, okay, the new gas, and the heat wave we've had. So you can blame it on everything. How about let's blame it on your carpet needs to be cleaned. That's why your gas prices are higher. Um, Most people aren't washing their cars. That makes it higher. Another thing is going on. Another trend that's going on is that you're paying more for auto insurance. And I thought that was interesting. So I called my company and I said to him, I said, listen, what's going on? I have a spotless driving record. How come I'm paying more? They said, well, sir, it's cost of everything's going up. In other words, companies are getting absolutely greedy and they're charging us for everything under the sun. And that's what's going on. All right, Mr. Price, hello, hello, hello. I had somebody contact me and this morning, and he left me a good message to help me out. Never shoot a video if you're not wearing the right outfit. Let's just put it that way. So I couldn't believe it. I put a video out, but long story. Oh, Brussels sprouts, you can start now. Some people will say actually cabbage can be started now in zone 7B. Cucumbers. Not much of a cucumber fan. I like them if they're grown properly and pickled properly, something like that. I can eat them. That's just I see. Yeah, I am. I think I'm getting used to this um, new to me called StreamYard, and I like it better. But it's got these little boxes here, and where you could it says here say crop layout, press Shift +2, and that's supposed to allow me to put 2 people up there, 3 people up there, and I don't know how that works. So, oh, feels good, and I'm gonna tell you something. I think I like the Yard Stream better than the standard. Because I could take this right here and push a button and put a person up there like this. I can say show, and see I could put that up there like that, and I like that. I could go here and I could put this person up there. $3.70 a gallon for regular gas. Um, Anybody I want to put up there, I can put them right up there. Oh, same one. And Creek Walker. See that? And that's good to let the person know that if you're talking to them, you can actually put um, their name right out there so everybody can see who they are, and possibly hit them back and become friends and become a person that they want to check out their site. I like that. But this side-by-side action, I don't know how that works. It says solo layout. I don't know what that means other than solo layout. Yeah. Okay, say I heard that cost of gas is up because it's so hot. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Probably temperatures above 95 degrees makes it difficult to get oil out of the ground. Okay, something. I'm with you on that, but for me, just for my sake, I don't believe it. I do not believe it at all. Period. Because I think that every time we turn around, it's some kind of crisis that requires for the price to be higher. How come when the temperature is perfect, the prices don't go down? Remember, we were paying almost $10 a little while back for a carton of eggs. Now eggs are everywhere. And I'm gonna tell you something. I went to a store to purchase some crab meat to make some crab cakes. And when I got there, um, the crabs cakes were the eggs. Excuse me, the eggs were a 99 cent for 30 eggs. I mean, they were small, but they were 30 eggs for 99 cents. That's almost like giving them away. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Temperatures above 95 degrees makes gas prices go up. Wow. Wintertime makes your heating costs go up. But they don't never show you nothing where it makes your heating costs go down. I like this camera here. Folks, is this camera nice and clear on your end? Because I got to tell you, I think this camera's clear because I can see myself nice and clear. All my plants on my property are growing pretty good. I have peppers out there now that weren't there 2 days ago. Look clear to me. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Price. Thank you so much. And we'll do that again. That's Mr. Price, everyone. Fellow gardener. And so I'm growing ginger. And you should see it. It's one of my videos has it there. I'm growing it in a child's swimming pool or infant swimming pool. And I decided to grow it there. Good evening. Good evening. All right. Thank you very much for stopping by. Let's see. Let's see. Good evening. Let's just put that right up there so everybody can see it. All right. And there's another good person that came in. I appreciate it there. Streaking Sir. All right. Streaking Sir. I can hardly wait to see how the ginger I'm growing turns out because let me tell you something. I'm feeding it plenty of organic food. Um, and I want to do some more reading up on ginger to make sure I'm doing everything to correct. But the child swimming pool basically is uh, compost. Excuse me, cow manure and peat moss. And what's the other thing I put in there? Um, perlite. And then I fertilized everything really good, and then I laid some wood chips over the top of everything to keep everything nice and moist. Uh, put a few dozen holes in the bottom of the child swimming pool so that I can make sure that it drains properly. And I got to tell you, the plant looks really good. If I find that this is the ticket as far as child swimming pool, I'm gonna have to buy. If I have to buy another child swimming pool, I'll make sure that I can do that. Greetings as well. Greetings as well, Mr. Parker. There we go. Make sure I said hello to everyone. Everyone's. Ginger. And I found out taking a Uber one morning, a gentleman from Africa. I don't know what part of Africa, but he decided to tell me that where he's from, they use ginger as a tea, but they don't put anything in it, such as brown sugar or honey or anything like that. They drink it straight. So I thought that was quite interesting. So I said, well, maybe someday I'll try it like that as well. Yeah, plenty of nourishment I'm giving my plants. Well, that being said, I'm gonna go take care of something real quick, and I shall return. All right, just hold tight, folks. Just, talk among yourselves for a while. Hello, hello, I'm back. Uh, okay, Google, what are the benefits of eating cherries?
Here's a summary from BBC Good Food. What are the health benefits of cherries? They're low GI. They're a heart-healthy choice. May reduce blood pressure. May help manage cholesterol. May help manage blood sugar levels. May help inflammatory conditions, and more.
Okay, Google, what are the benefits of eating apples?
According to Michigan Apples, eating one medium apple a day may help lower blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation, all of which support a healthy heart. Eat the peel when you can, as the fiber and polyphenols found in the peel benefit heart health. Apples can strengthen your lungs.
Wow, I didn't know about the lungs thing. Wow. I apologize for the wait. I said, what happened? That's what was asked here. What happened? I'm here now. I'm here. I'm here, folks. And I had to go for a second, so I'm back. Is anyone still here? I see where it looks like it says one person is here. And I'm wondering if any of you had any good success with what you're growing this year. I am definitely looking at. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Price. I'll put them back up there, folks. And the thing about it is, um, I'm here as well. Oh, we got another person here as well. All right. And so I just looked out of my window. I see my corn out there. It's not very tall, but it is healthy. It is growing, and I fed it good. And I know for a fact that that corn is considered a heavy feeder. So I did what I had to do, which was make sure it gets something to eat, make sure it gets plenty of water. Okay, things are going well out back. Okay, that sounds like a winner. That sounds like a winner. I like to hear news like that. I got to tell you, it's a great thing. It's a great um, thing to have food growing in your backyard. I know that we feel like we're. I'm here as well. I know that it feels good. I love my internet, but I love my computer more than anything because if I want to go and do something in the garden, um, I can just simply type in, "Okay, Google, crops that grow well in clay soil."
According to GrowVeg.com, best vegetables for clay soil. Lettuce, chard, snap beans, and other crops with shallow roots benefit from clay soil's ability to retain moisture, and broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage often grow better in clay soil than looser loams because their roots enjoy firm anchorage.
And you see that? Now that is something good to know. One thing I enjoyed growing one time, and I got to tell you this, folks. I don't want to keep driving the point home, but I got to tell you, um, I enjoyed growing cabbage at one point, and I was amazed how well it grew. I mean, I was totally amazed how well it grew, um, because the cabbage did well because it was growing again in clay soil, and I took it out of the ground. I put it in the pot. I put some smoked meat in there with it and cooked it, and it was absolutely incredible. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be cabbage. Okay, Google. Oh, and I got to tell you something else I put in the ground this year, which is um, a first time for me. Burgundy okra. Growing burgundy okra. That is what I'm growing, burgundy okra. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not as strong and as stout as the spineless okra. It's just not. But I still think okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah. I just didn't want to show off my wrinkled shirt there. That's all. There we go. How is that? Is that better? There we go. Cabbage, and then you have another variety, which is a winter cabbage. Um, and I got to tell you folks something. So I do not dig in my yard a lot. I mean, you should see I got what they call a little hand spade. And here's what I do: an inch in the ground, lean, seed, close. That's simple. That's all the digging I do. That's all the digging I do. I take the little hand spade, about an inch, lean, seed, close. That's what I do. And I like that. And people say, well, do you till? Nope. All I do is go over the top of my ground, cut down the weeds and the grass, and I plant what I'm going to plant. Then I put the wood chips around the plant once it comes up to a certain point. I put them around it to keep some of the weeds back from it. And that's it. I used to go out there and take years ago and take a spot. I had a 5.5 horsepower tiller made by a Craftsman. Wait a minute, I'm gonna look at something here real quick. Now that 5.5 horsepower Craftsman front wheel drive front drive tiller at that time went for $299. Let's see how much it costs today. Now that was about, let's say 15 years ago, to be fair. No, about 10 years. Okay, Google. 5.5 horsepower Craftsman tiller.
Okay, but first you'll have to unlock your
I
device.
know. Everything you got today is locked up. Phones, bank accounts, everything. All right, let's see what we got here. 5.5 horsepower Craftsman tiller. Wow. Oh, there it is, folks. And I took that tiller and I got rid of it on back then it was Craigslist. Soon as I put it on the thing there, somebody came and got it within I think about half an hour to an hour. They came and got it. It ran great. I kept the oil changed in it and everything. Okay, here's what they got here, Craftsman. 208 cc. That's it. That's it. That looks just like the one I had. That bastard is $700 now. 700. Mm. Same tiller. Now they have a tiller here, a yard force is what they call it, 21-inch 208 cc gas front tiller. This is what it goes for. I don't believe this price. This price is incredible. Wait a minute, I just lost. Oh, there it is. Look at this right here. You're not going to believe it when I show it to you. This is at Home Depot. Remember, I don't work for them. I don't know how they got it at that price. They say it was once $600. Now it's this price. If I was still tilling again, I would grab that. If I was still tilling. But I know that from my perspective, tilling destroys soil. I mean, you could beat your soil to death with these tillers. And when it's all said and done, your soil won't even be able to grow weeds and grass in that area. You beat it up enough with that tiller. I like what was said here. That's why I'm putting this up here. I typically start things in cups, then put them in holes in the yard. You sound like a person doing exactly what I do, because when I took my stuff out there, it depends on if I'm starting with seed now. If I'm starting with seed, like I said, a little quick hole, lean, drop, close. And I don't just drop one seed in that hole. I might drop 4 or 5 seeds of something like cabbage. I might drop 4 or 5 seeds in there because I want to make sure that something comes up. The other thing is, when it comes to growing them in cups, I grow them in 5-inch cups. I don't have any around here right now. I can show you, but it got like a little reservoir in the bottom, and I make my own gardening soil. I mean, my own potting soil. And once I do that, I'm all set. That's what I do. That's what I do. Now, see, I'm at the house here, right? Everyone lives differently. I don't, you hear anything in my house? Listen, you don't have any grandkids running around, kids, old lady fussing, carrying on. I think, and not all ladies fuss. I'm not implying that, but you don't hear that here. It's so quiet here. I can actually sit here and hear my computer running. I got my own sound system. I got my own crib. I grow my own food, and it's a wonderful deal. Because I see some people live in misery when they come home. They're in total misery when they come to the house and be, oh God, I gotta go back to work. I can't take it in this house. That's what they feel like when they get home. And if you got to fight when you get home, that's not a good deal. apples. I grew all my trees 21 inches apart. I put four, good evening, good evening. All right. I'm going to put your name up there. I want everybody to see you. So they might want to come visit your channel. There we go. Real star. I got to say this to you. I grow the food. I cook the food. I used to go out. I used to go outside. I used to really enjoy that. Go outside in my slippers in the morning, and I pick me some Swiss chard. I pick me some spinach, and I stir fried with fresh fish that I caught from. Oh, you welcome. You welcome. I started the fish I would catch. I would fry those, and it was just an incredible meal. And then I started looking at other things and said, wow, the cost of all this was really inexpensive, and it was fresh, and it was the best because it was cooked straight from the garden. And see, I cook with a wok, and I put a little bit of olive oil in the wok, virgin, and stir fry everything, and then and eat it. And I used to go out there and get fish at times. A little bit cruel here, but I'd bring them home. They'd still be alive in the bucket, and I would clean them, scale them, and everything, and right from the sink, right into the oil. And the fish sometimes still moving when you put them in the oil. Um, but I gotta say, the fish was incredible tasting. The best fish I ever caught that I ate was what they call them, trout, rainbow trout, rainbow brown trout. And at that time, I was with this young lady, and wow, that was a rough relationship. Oh my goodness! Sometimes I just think about it. It was rough. But anyway, I go out there, I fish all morning, and I come back in, and I found out that in this particular spot there were trout there. I didn't know there was trout there. I was catching stuff, like uh, uh, bluegill, pumpkin seed, and things like that. It might have been some brook trout in there. It might have been some brook trout in there. But I got to tell you, I got him home, and she saw that I was cooking up a different fish, and because I cooked her fish and I cooked my fish, but the trout, orange flesh, tastes like it was seasoned already. It tastes like it was seasoned already. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like it was seasoned already, and it was seasoned with cheese. And so she said, let me have some of those. And I said, yeah, okay. I gave her some. She said, what are these? I said, these are rainbow trout. So I went back out there early in the morning when it was almost dark out there. Now, I didn't like doing that because around that particular area, there were snakes everywhere. They were everywhere. And I got out there when it was just breaking daylight. And I would park my car. I was always parking in the neighborhood. And these trout were there. They were carp. I never liked the carp. There was another fish that always bit your hook. It was called he had lips like a rubber band. I always say he had lips like a rubber band. He sucked off at the bottom. Some people call them suckers. Tons of bones all through him and everything. Not even worth taking home unless you know how to cook them. I mean, you got to really go through the meat and slice to cut up the bones. And then you got to bake them or you got to fry them hard. And then you can eat everything. So anyway, and I don't know how they would taste after that but they would same colors, a grayish sort of carp color, and it had a mouth that faced downward like a carp. Yeah, river chug or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, let's see, we got here. Do not have rainbow trout here, but some spots we have brown trout. And brown trout, nothing wrong with a brown trout. And have pink muskie and spoonbill. Beautiful. I like what you said here about the brown trout and some of the man-made lakes, and I think that this area is a small piece of water. And I went there and I tried everything I could after that one day to find the trout again. I couldn't find them. I went further up, and further up it was kind of spooky because I went up there and I almost stepped on the snake. He was coiled up next to the water, and while I'm walking in this tall grass, I put my foot almost down, and I looked, and I said, "Oh my God!" And I stepped over to the side, almost stepped on a snake. So that being said, beautiful place. I mean, beautiful to catch fish there. Small body of water, rainbow, brown trout. I mean, they were there. And I didn't even have the right gear, and I was catching them the first time. All I had was worms, and I didn't have any fancy flies or none of that stuff. I just threw out, they hit, and they put up a good fight. And then about a pound uh, in size. And I would take them, took them all home, and I said, let me get these things home. Got them home and immediately cooked them. Their scales are so soft, you could scale them with a butter knife. Then it was the last time I caught trout. It was about 25 years ago. Yeah, about 25 years ago. Beautiful deal. And I was supposed to have been out today cutting grass. I couldn't do it. That heat was just too much. I just couldn't do it. If you ever have one of them string trimmers and you got some line that you had in the garage or something like that, soak it in some water. It'll make it last longer. It'll stop breaking off and everything. Just soak it in water overnight, a few hours, whatever you have, and it'll make it so it won't keep breaking. String trimmers are great when you have like a overgrown yard. You can go in there and go nuts and just clean up everything. I was buying all these tools to clean up my yard. My yard, you see my yard now, you say, "Oh my God, this guy let his yard get away from him." It did. It got away from me. But I'm gonna get control of it. So we got to run. See you next time. Okay, take care, Mr. Price. Have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Now the room is completely quiet. Yeah. Oh, it's getting ready to rain. I just heard some of the rain is hitting the air conditioning that's in the window. Oh, hello, Miss Sue Miller. Hello, how you doing? I bought a blade from, let's see, I bought attached to my trimmer and cut my overgrown yard. Oh, I love that story. I have close to an acre, not quite an acre, and it's overgrown. Um, and I have some line on my trimmer, and I bought a heavy duty trimmer. I bought an inexpensive trimmer. I don't know what happened to it. The thing never worked right. It never stayed running, and I know it can be made to run again. I know it can because I only used it once or twice maybe, and that's why I haven't thrown it away because I said no, don't throw it away. South. I'm south of you. Oh, okay, okay. I think I started raining about 15 minutes ago. Right. You got the rain. Um, you got the rain already. And I got to tell you something. Once it start here, I get all my plants watered for free. Yeah. Oh, it's coming down more. It's coming down more. I like that. And so, as I was saying earlier, is I mean, being in the crib and it's just you and the cat. And the cat in there, my cat in there laying under air conditioning right now, thinking, I'm glad he in there on the computer because I'm tired of him playing all the time. My cat really hates to play all the time. It's raining all night. It rained all night and drizzle off and on all day here in Michigan. Happy plant. Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. I just looked at this. Miss Sue Miller got this cat up here on her. For lack of a better word, it's not an emoji. It's just a picture of a cat. And people even ask about my cat. He's been around so long. They ask about my cat, like like he got people that visit him. They'll say, "Hey, how's Pretty Boy doing?" And I say, "Pretty Boy doing good." I said, "He doing all right." It's best up when people call the house and ask about him. See that? I like the way you I like the way you did that. You said you put the fertilizer down before it rains. Let me tell you something about I use I cut up the wood when I prune my trees. The leaves, the branches, everything go down at the base of my tree because everything likes to eat that stuff. And once it eats it, it leaves their waste material at the roots. That's called fertilizing free. And I like that. I like to do it that way. Um, and you can also buy fertilizers because every year, if I see an incredible, it has to be an incredible. These bags here, again, I don't work for these companies, but a bag this size here is about 3 pounds. Let's say 3 pounds. All right, so I get these. These are usually about $6, $7, $8 a bag, depending on where you go. I get them for $1.90, 95 cents, and I do that by buying them at the end of the year. Or another thing is go to one of them box stores. Go to one of them box stores in the dead of winter. Eggshells turned into powder. These eggshells, heavy duty bag. I had this thing. I had this thing all the way up to here, and The eggshells are free once I use the egg. And I put them inside of a blender that I don't use for anything else. And I blend them down. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'll let my bush pile turning the soil eventually. Yeah, that's beautiful idea right there, Wilson. Beautiful idea. I'll let the bushes pile turn into soil. That's what I do. Now, also this one here. So I chop and drop. My fences is in the soil. I'm in the soil. That's it. I'm in the soil with chop and drop. I'm telling you, all the weeds and everything, grass and everything. I do not get rid of it. I simply cut it, let it lay. I let it lay. And that fortifies that soil. Because I got to remember when I first purchased this house 20 some odd years ago, um, and I was learning how to garden, and I remember tearing up the soil with shovels and what was it, shovels, and I had a hoe, and I thought that was the way to go. And I was out there killing myself. And I ran into this lady back in the day. She seemed pretty decent, but I didn't know, I didn't know that we were so different. But anyway, I digress. She said, "How are you digging all of this ground? This is a lot of work. This is an awful lot of work." And I said, "Yes, it is." But I said, "That's part of gardening." No, some people do it that way. And what she did was she told me about a tiller, and I started using a tiller, and I thought I had the answer. And each year, the soil got worse and worse and worse because I said, "What is going on here? How come the soil?" I till it up, go over it 2 or 3 times, make sure it's like light like powder. Then I put the plants in or the seeds in, and then when it rains, it turns into a hard plate on the top, and it cracks in it and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I said, this don't. I said to myself, I said, this don't look right. This can't be right. And that's when I found out that there were other gardeners that were um, diverting from tilling, and they were going with natural ways of gardening. Which one was chop and drop, one was no dig gardening, and that sort of thing. So when I started researching that, I said, wait a minute, there's something to this because when you go out in the woods, everything out there grows on its own. It don't have to be fertilized, watered, or tilled, or none of that. It just do its own deal. Um, and all the plants were healthy and they grew well and everything. And there's a great amount of what they call diversity in the forest. So I started mimicking nature, and my gardens got better. It got better. I mean, I would grow things accidentally when I started dropping, chop and drop. I could drop a seed out of my pocket and come back in a few months, and his watermelon sprawling behind some of the weeds and some of the grass. And I'm saying, what the heck? These are watermelons, and they would be big, pretty sugar babies growing from a seed that fell out of my hand or fell out of my pocket. So okay. I got you. That's something I used to do. I used to do the compost bins. Then I stopped, and I started letting everything stay where it was. Because I said, wait a minute. Uh, I said, let me see what I'm doing here. I said, if I leave the plants right there where they are, I said, what's the difference? Because I would leave the plants right on the ground and they would go right back into the ground. I would grow corn. I would grow okra. I would grow all different kind of whatever there. Spring would come, chop everything down and let it lay there, and then plant around the grass and the weeds that I cut down. And the whole thing was feeding itself. And then I started noticing that I had all these big worms and night crawlers and everything on top of the ground. They were so active. They were just on top of the ground. It was in the ground. Everything. It was just. And I said, this has got to be what they meant by all natural gardening, and that's what it was. But I start my plants indoors, and I take them outside in a 5 gallon. Excuse me, a five. I keep saying 5 gallon, 5-inch pot. It'll have like 4 or 5 corn plants growing in there. And when I take them out there, I just set the whole thing down in the ground and put my wood chips around it to keep it moist and keep the food supply there so the biology can go up eating the wood chips and excreting their own waste right there, mating, live, die right there underneath the plant. And all of that becomes plant food. You know something? I started to use kitchen scraps, and I'm not going to tell anyone not to use kitchen scraps because I don't. I don't because I said, wait a minute. If these plants, corn, onions, apple cores, and all that's grown with substandard fertilizer from the big farms, if I put week in, I'm going to get week out. So I said, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. Now, the best fertilizer in the world is worm poo. So when I leave when I leave all of my litter on the ground after growing a crop, if I leave all the litter there, what happens is, backyard gardener, hello, how you doing? It's been a long time. When I leave all the litter on the ground, the worms eat it. It goes through their digestive system, and it adds their biology to the food that they ate, and then they excrete it out. Once they excrete it out, it's made in a form where the plants can now use it. So I go that way because all you want to do, in my opinion, your whole function when you garden should be just growing soil. I happen to have plants on top, but my whole function is growing soil. That's it. I don't care. I won't say I don't care about the plants. I just know that the plants will do well if the soil is right. And that's how I do it. But that's how I learned to do it. Because as long as the food is there and the soil is not being tilled, and every time the weeds come up and you chop them down and winter comes and winter goes and the roots that are in the ground shrivel up, leaving all kinds of passages through the ground that aerates the soil, that allows everything to be very in a ready state when spring and summer come. Because nature doesn't fertilize like we do. We fertilize in the spring and summer. Nature fertilizes in the winter, fall and winter. So everything that hits the ground, all the grass that grew up that lays down because of the cold, it goes back into the ground when it dies and comes back next year. So That being said, it goes back into the ground, and the biology eats it, and it excretes the waste. The waste, in turn, is there for your plants when the weather changes. So when you cut down and do, like the young lady said, to chop and drop, absolutely, because that's natural. It's totally natural. When weeds grow, it's because there's a need for it there because the soil has always got to try to heal itself, and weeds are grown like a band-aid to help the soil to heal. And the type of plant that grows down into the ground to extract certain minerals to help the weed, help the soil to heal. If your soil is low in potassium, if your soil is low in nutrients like nitrogen, whatever, those plants grow there, and they can tell you what's lacking in your soil if you can go to those particular type of weeds and read what the weeds are telling you. Oh, backyard. Okay. Yeah. Just read what the weeds are telling you. Weeds are telling you what is needed in your soil. Because the weeds of the soil will always grow a band-aid. All right, good people. We'll see you at a later date, which probably tomorrow night, same time. Probably around 6 o'clock, something like that. You take care and have a good day. I'm going to go in here and watch a little bit of television. Take care now.